Summer anime season is here, and with it, a bevy of absolutely incredible anime. And we're going to get into our initial impressions on the shows that we've watched thus far. And I think the majority of them are extremely positive. So we'll get into that in today's episode of Dad-ime, Dad Anime Club, the show where three nerdy-ass dads try to reclaim our anime cred one season at a time. I am your host, Dallin, and with me, as always, my two tacos in arms. We've got Preston, the dungeon-crawling adventurer. How's it going, Preston?
Good. How about you?
Good. I'm doing okay. It's a glass of wine kind of week, so hopefully we can stumble through this podcast okay. And also joining us is Tyler, the manga maestro. How's it going, Tyler?
It's going good. My 3-year-old's in the no stage.
Ooh.
So no. So it's been my ears hurt.
Yeah, that, kids get to that around 3, around 5. They kind of get these boundary testing phases where they really just got to push and see.
I wish I knew where his boundary was, because I feel like I'm crossing it.
Yeah, it's tough.
I need a roadmap.
Dad said yes. I'm saying no.
Yeah. My kids are
it's anything. It's like, do you want me to make you breakfast? No.
No breakfast. You have to eat.
Do you
Legally,
I'm
required to feed
Absolutely not.
My kids have figured out that they can try and pit me and my wife against each other, and they'll be like, "Oh, Dad said no. I'm going to go ask Mom." But luckily, my wife and I are mostly on the same page, so there's been very few incidents where one of us has said yes and the other has said no. But when they do, then we have to look at each other and really be like, okay, why are we saying no again? Are we just saying no out of habit at this point? Or is there an actual reason that we're saying no?
My own father says no a lot. Just that's how he was growing up. He'd just be like, no. And then so I have to work at it and be like, why am I saying no?
Worst for my kids is the they come to me, okay, hey, go ask your mom, and then they'll go back and ask their mom, and then they'll say, go ask your dad, and then the kids will get stuck in this.
I was counting on my wife to solve the problem.
Yeah,
but it's back to me now.
You're both just kind of kicking the bottle down the road.
Yeah,
does it?
Once it comes back to me, it's like, okay, I guess I have to make the choice now.
Yes.
Oh, classic. Yeah, that happens. But it's a fun part of being a dad. It's part of the journey. So take the bitter with the sweet, I guess. So you guys want to get into it? Summer anime.
Yeah.
I feel like this is one of the best seasons of anime I've watched up to this point, and I haven't even watched all the good stuff yet. There's still a couple shows around the corner. So why don't we start with one that I think we've all checked out at this point? And that is Lord of the Mysteries.
I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so Preston hasn't checked this out.
That's okay.
Okay, so we're gonna give you a pitch. We're gonna pitch it to you as to why you need to watch this.
All right.
And I think Tyler.
I knew. I was thinking how am I gonna pitch this? Okay.
Put you on the spot and make you sell a show.
All right, we're on Shark Tank. Think you're on Shark Tank, all right?
Yeah.
Okay, we're in an epic, and if you don't know what epic is, it's a time period. Okay, in this time period, we just see an amazing battle between some form of ghoulish female and what seems to be our hero, and our hero is clearly losing, and he makes a plea to the gods of the world to kind of survive this, and boom, he wakes up with a blood splatter in front of him. And he is like, what the heck happens? And a gun in front of him as well. And he's like, did I just shoot myself? That's the first 10 minutes. But there's an epic narrator over the whole thing in a deep guttural Chinese voice. And it's so epic. It is so epic. The music, the pacing, it's all just really good. And then do you know how Studio Ghibli, the sound effects dude is in the background, making those cool sounds with real objects? I swear to God, there's a guy for this show.
Jinkle, jinkle, jinkle.
Yeah. There's a guy for the gun in this show. Here's a guy go, because he reaches behind him at one point to grab a gun, and it's every sound. I'm like, oh my God, I love this. It's so perfect. And I still don't know what's going on, Our main character doesn't know what's going on. He's just kind of stumbling through it with us. And at one point, he has a tarot card reading, and another point, he has an astral projection meeting with 2 other people. It's awesome.
This feels like a domain of dread right here. I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome. It definitely feels that way.
It is. It is a show that just throws you in and does not hold your hand. And honestly, I respect it for it. Because it respects your intelligence to be like, you can figure this out. It might be confusing. You might not understand the first episode, maybe not even the second episode, but eventually you'll get the hang of what's going on. I think why it's so confusing is it's kind of just approaching it way differently than you would expect an isekai coming from like a Japanese anime, right? It's instead of starting with the kid like getting truck-cooned and then waking up somewhere else, it starts with this guy is in somebody else's body. His name is not Klein Moretti. I can't remember what it is. It's like a Chinese name, and he wakes up in someone else's body with the gun, and he's like, somehow the guy I am now has committed, and I have like taken his. I don't even know if we could say that without getting demonetized on YouTube. I might have to bleep it, but whatever.
Unaliving.
Yeah, he unalived himself. But the crazy thing is he still has all this dude's memory, so he knows like the history of this place. He knows how to get around. He knows like
because he was in the 4th epic, and now the world is in the 5th epic, so he's
kind of like John Malkovich, but like more weird. Like
it's so weird, and like it's like a huge time skip. The world isn't the same. He's trying to figure out his life, and it's clear he came from a world where there was those things, and it definitely looks like a Bloodborne-y kind of world that he was from. And like you can even see as his body's being sutured back together, like the bullet holes filling in, any wounds he gets, there's like these little kind of like gross worm looking things like suturing him back together.
Yeah.
And it's like really gross, but it's also really cool. The animation style is on par with Demon Hunter and Solo Leveling. So I'm
that's
like,
exciting.
this is awesome.
It's peak animation.
This one was a manhwa that was converted into...
It's a dongwa.
Oh, yeah. Very cool.
So
I haven't read this one either.
I'm excited.
Yeah, and what I think is so fun about this one is like visually it is always entertaining in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's the bright colors or just like the almost photorealistic like backgrounds and stuff. Like it feels like you're watching almost like a cutscene out of like The Witcher or something. It's crazy.
It's like a dark Sherlock Holmes, which is already
Got
dark.
me on.
Like
Bloodborne like Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, like with magic. I don't know what tarot cards.
Oh snap!
It's like it's so interesting. The first episode is called The Fool, and I'm so ready. Yeah. I'm so I paused and I was like, I'm gonna watch the second episode when we pick this one.
Oh man,
simuldub or is it how are they doing it?
It's only in Chinese right now, which I know is kind of
that's okay.
You know, some people can't really get behind Chinese when they're so used to Japanese because I know like gutter, like just the way it sounds is so different. But the narrator's voice is so good. I was immediately, like Tyler said, I was just sucked into it. He just has
like
an
if you ever
voice.
played Black with Wukong, Sun Wukong's voice is too high, but there's a moment where there's some low Chinese voices, and I'm like, whoa! My brain is just like, I like that deep guttural sound, and this narrator has that. It's like I don't know. It's like James Earl Jones and Chinese meet together. Like,
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's a good description. Yeah, I will say too, episode 2 just continues down the rabbit hole. It peels back a little bit more and you start to understand the world. And it gets to a point where it's like drinking poison to unlock magic powers kind of stuff. And it's just, that's so cool. Epic.
You just totally just like Bloodborne, like the whole thing. Like, it's like, I want that.
You got to drink the blood of the beast, baby.
Yeah. So like, this is exciting. Like, definitely there's like a dark magic, like taboo kind of thing going on. Like,
kind of Grey Warden.
Kind of, but like the main character, like Klein, like his previous version must have done something illegal, like completely taboo, which has brought this person from the past who should have stayed dead to the present. So I think he unleashed something he wasn't supposed to.
I don't know. I think it's trying to trick us by being so like wild and bombastic. I think it's probably a very simple plot under there. But it's just so hard to see it right now because it's attacking you from a billion angles.
I bet he's isekai as the hero and the villain got reincarnated into someone else.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But man, yeah, this one has got a death grip on me. Like, I
exciting.
love it. I know it's so early, only having watched 2 episodes. Like, it's already probably my favorite anime this season, and that's insane to say, considering what is here. Yeah.
Kaiju number 8's coming out, and I hyped up the end of the first season.
Yeah.
But I'm still hyped up. I want to see.
So, who do you guys think Lord of the Mysteries is for? Like, if you had to, if you're trying to pitch it to somebody, like, who is this show for? Who would enjoy this kind of show?
I think, like, the audience, you're not aiming for your preteen audience. You're not aiming for your pre-teenage girl audience. You're not aiming for you're aiming for your 18-year-old, like, kind of edgy, like, I need something dark kind of thing. Like, you're aiming for that, like, closet, like, nerd who doesn't like everyone to know he's a nerd. So he's like, he sits in his basement and watches, like, some shit, plays Dark Souls. I'm just hurting myself.
I love it. Based on the image and based on the IMDb description of it, I mean, to me, it feels like Sandman, right? Or like just from that vibe, that same vibe of like in Sandman, where you have that kind of, you're not sure what's going on, you're not sure the angle, and then sometimes it throws something different at you. So,
minus the naked man in a circular cage.
Yeah. It's it feels like you're watching somebody's nightmare. Like, at times it's like not making sense, but dreams don't make sense. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, all of a sudden you're getting transported somewhere else out of nowhere with no explanation. You're like, how did we get here?
While you're asleep.
Yeah, it does Doctor Strange-esque stuff. Like, why are the floors like turning into waves, and why are the buildings moving and like trapping him, and like what's going on? Like, it's very.
I think there's like a magic system in the world that there's some things that are allowed and some things that are not, and like it just seems. I don't know. It just seems like enthralling to see something new like this. Yeah. Because like having a Doctor Strange kind of world, like where without the magic circles, like is kind of nice.
And I love it when they do that kind of stuff too. Because especially for me, my favorite part about a lot of those epic fantasies and other stuff is that like unknown, right? Like the first time you see Gandalf and you're like, wow, what kind of magic can he do? Oh, he did magic. Like, can he do these other things? What's the limitations?
Yeah,
and
he can make the sun rise, and
that's cool.
Turn trolls to stone. So what else does he have?
I love that. Like, especially if they hold on to that for a to and don't tell you, and then unlock it. I'm excited.
He just broke a stone. Like, that was just coincidence.
Maybe not. He's ultra powerful. He can move the cosmos, man. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that show's epic, and there is like a mystery element going on too, because there's this journal that he uncovers that kind of has like some missing pages, like some dates are missing, so he's got to kind of fill in the gaps, and I think that's going to carry us through the season.
Well, and there's those the detectives. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Right, and they were really interesting too, because they were the one playing the mind tricks on him, moving the earth and like messing with his mind.
Yeah,
and like he was so scared he didn't even lie to them. Like, he was like, no, I'm guilty.
Yeah, I did it.
Yeah, it was me. I don't know what I did, but take me away.
Like, but our main character isn't stupid, which I kind of like. He's not like when they're not to segue into our next one, but when I watched Ugly Mug and like the isekai, it's like they're kind of dumb when they get isekai. It's like, I don't know how to do anything. Like, it's like, yes, you do.
Yeah. So let's move on then to a couple. There's a couple isekais. I know you watched Ugly Mug. I checked out Water Magician. Preston, have you checked out any isekais this time around yet?
Nope. I did the Kaiju number 8 and the what's it called? I haven't done DanDaDan. I started DanDaDan, and then true to my old dad man nature these days, I fell asleep before I could because I was tired from work when I started. But then we watched Rise of the Shield Hero.
Yeah, Shield Hero
season 4.
Season 4. The first episode of season 4.
Nice.
And, I'm out. I have my ideas.
All right, Tyler. So fill us in on this.
Okay.
Isekai.
So if I had to pitch so Ugly Mug is kind of funny. Okay, so you get this story of this dude who's having a horrible time on Earth, and he's like, life is horrible for me. I'm ugly. I've worked really hard to be like the top salesman, like, and he's like on the train one day, and he has like a bag, like a grocery bag, just full of lewd adult games, and
I know someone like that in real life.
This teenage girl accuses him of like touching her. He didn't touch her. He trips out of the subway trying to get away from her, and all these adult games spill on the ground.
Oh no!
And then he's accused of touching her. Come to find out, she
no.
does this to lots of men. But he instead of going through like a long trial, he just submits to being guilty, so it gets over with. And then he kind of comes to a closet shut in. He's ugly as hell in his own mind. And they blur out his face for the whole first part. And then he isekais through his computer like everyone does. And boom, he's in another world. But as he's isekaiing, it gives him options of stats, right? And so the first set of stats that he gets is it says looks like 10 or 5, and he's like negative 255. Yeah. And then he goes to the next page, which gives him his like physical stats, and he just starts, and like special notes, and he just starts typing like ridiculous things, like when I make a profit, I only get 1 out of 10,000 of the profit. So if he gets like $1, he only gets 1/10,000th of a dollar.
Oh, gosh.
And the system rounds down. And like, but by doing all these things, he creates the system has to recalibrate and say, okay, well, he's clearly putting himself at such a deficit. We have to give him experience gains. Yeah. So it's like experience gain times 10,000. So when he kills one thing, it's times 10,000. And so like he kills one goblin at the beginning of the first episode. And gets 1 trillion stat points. It's like ridiculous, and he's just overpowered. But he also put down that if a girl touches him, he loses 10% of his health. So like, there's just like all these ridiculous things that are going on. I think it's something I'd watch if I was just like, I need something to laugh at. Like it was enjoyably
like,
funny.
Oh, furry kind of.
Yeah, it was just silly, and I thought this is not the best anime I've ever watched, but gosh, this is kind of funny idea. They just took the isekai genre and just like, let's just make fun of it, like completely.
Yeah,
I love it.
Nice.
That's awesome.
That sounds like a fun one. Who do you think this is for? Like, do you think the average anime fan would enjoy this, or is this like for hardcore otakus only kind of thing?
This is just for someone who has too much time on their hands. Like this is something you would watch if you were just like, if you wanted something crude. It just seems like it's gonna be crude. Like it just like everyone appears in the isekai world naked, and everyone like, and they're just wearing like underwear, and he's just like. Everyone's like, I'm a 16-year-old girl, supposedly. I'm a 16-year-old boy, supposedly. And he's like, I'm 16. And he's this overweight, middle-aged looking dude. And it's just like, this is ridiculous.
Like self-aware, silly, like almost breaking the fourth wall.
It doesn't do it. It doesn't do it. But it's close. But like, it's awesome. Like the characters know that everyone around them is isekai.
Nice. So I checked out The Water Magician. I hate to break it to you guys. I couldn't even get through the first episode. I did not enjoy this at all. It's very generic standard isekai. Like it starts out with this kid in the middle of the woods with a cabin doing water magic, and then it flashes back. We don't know how he died, but he's talking to the god, and the god's like, I'm going to give you water magic, and I'm going to put you in a cabin in the woods with all the food you'll ever need, and don't worry, there's no monsters anywhere around you for like 100 miles. Go have fun. And then he just wakes up and starts doing magic. And I made it about that far and was like, you know what? This has nothing interesting to say, nor does it add to the isekai genre in any way, shape, or form.
It sounds
and the
like
animation was pretty mid, so I was like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna call this one a drop.
What's the one that's really like crude? Mugen, it's a tense.
Mushoku Tensei. Yeah,
Mushoku Tensei. It sounds like a worse version of that.
Yeah,
like because like that's what he first does. It's like that's what he first does. He shows up in a cabin in the woods, right? But he's a baby. He starts doing water magic at the age of like 3, and like just having a blast with it until he becomes a full-blown magician, right? Yeah. Like I don't see how like you just watch that.
Yeah,
and he was always a pervert. He was already a pervert.
That's so crazy because it's one where it's like I can never. The rating system is right now. It shows that they have 7,500 ratings already, and the average is 4.9.
On Water Magician?
On Water Magician. That blows my mind that, like, I don't know, maybe, are people thirsty for it? I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. I'd be interested on the demographics. Like, who's it made for? Like, if it's scratching an itch for a certain demographic.
Sounds like 10-year-olds.
I would say if you love isekai, like that's your main thing that you like to consume, you'll probably find this like somewhat enjoyable. but like where isekai is not even really in my favorite at all, and like it takes a very solid isekai for me to even care about it. Like I think like it has to be a Mushoku Tensei, a ReZero, like that kind of thing before I even want to watch it. Maybe Sword Art Online and Shangri-La Frontier, like those got me into it as well, but I don't know. This one just doesn't.
Like
just doesn't.
Games. It's not really isekai.
Yeah, I mean it's isekai in the sense that it's like they're in
isekai
the game world,
adjacent.
Right? Yeah. So I don't know. That one was just not super good.
It's getting good. I'm reading it and it's getting good.
Dude, I just want them to just power through and just make like all the seasons. Like,
dude, the newest chapters, it just keeps going. It doesn't stop.
I did not think it was going to be good. If I'm being honest, like you see like a bird dude shirtless with like blades. I was like, oh, this is stupid.
That's Dark Souls.
And then like 2 episodes in, I was like, dude, this is amazing. This might be one of my favorite anime right
I just gotta dodge. Just gotta dodge.
That's why I play the Guardian, you know?
Yeah, you got to be a bird boy. Sunraku, man.
Yep, gotta
I just changed my name.
Yeah, change your name to Sunraku. All right, Preston. Let's jump over to you. What do you want to talk about that you've been watching?
See, so I watched Kaiju number 8, so the first one, and this one was like just like you said, Tyler. At the end of last season, it was like, oh gosh, like I'm so excited. Like this is we're starting to take off. We're on that launch pad. Right now, I think there was only 1 episode that was available, and I have high hopes. It was a good episode, but it was like at the very beginning, they almost allude to like, oh, this is a beach episode on episode 1. You're like, really? Like, come on. I guess you have to start from somewhere to launch it up, but it was good. Basically, they kind of went through and did a little bit more kind of character development for what's his name, the squinty-eyed captain guy. Can't remember the name of the character.
Oh, the sword guy.
The sword guy that like never opens his eyes.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. I'm terrible with the names and that.
I don't remember his name. Like, and the only time he opens his eyes is when he's angry or like he's like super locked in. But it was good. And they kind of talk a little bit about that. It does some character building, but it didn't advance the story. And then same thing with like Shield Hero. Shield Hero, it starts to build a little bit of intrigue, and I feel like it's your run of the mill. Like he goes in, he gets into this new country, and the country that he went to is essentially, I think it's Raftalia and the little whatever kids, that's their homeland, and they worship the Shield Hero. So when he gets there, he's like, hey, I'm just passing through. I'm actually here to go mess with this other country's emperor because he tried to kill Raftalia. And so it's one of those weird, right now they're building something up, and they've built some intrigue, and they've put him in this weird situation where you have 2 factions, where one of them is like, hey, we worship you and we want you to stake around. And you have this other that's like, hey, get out of town. We don't want you here. And so then now he's like, if he buddies with either side, then he's going to incite some kind of a coup d'etat kind of thing. So it'll be interesting. But again, those were mostly the ones that I watched them because my wife was available. And those are the shows that she wants that we watch together. So
nice.
I'm excited to jump in some of these other ones that you guys are like. Lord of Mysteries.
Yeah, I think Lord of Mysteries is solid. I think I like Rise of the Shield Hero as like it feels like it's for like, I don't know, like if you don't mind harem animes, it's like okay with that. And I also, it's kind of got a leveling system to it. Like I feel like season 1, when he was like adding things to his shield, I was super into that.
I agree.
And with the later ones, I haven't been as into. But when they added like different weapons, I was kind of like, I kind of want to see where that goes.
Yeah.
Like when
like
they
the
started
overcharged shield and the cheat shield or whatever. Yeah.
I haven't watched a single episode, so everything you're saying sounds cool in theory. But I'm like, I have no.
The first season and second season are better. They're better paced. Yeah. If you're kind of like, if you're watching season 4, you're kind of just into it. Like you're like,
okay,
you're in for the story, and you're like,
man, that's like. On one hand, I like when shows are like that because if it's especially one that you vibe with, you're just like, give me all of it. But when it's one of those ones where it just like progressively kind of goes downhill, there always comes a point when you're like, is it still worth watching? Yeah. Do I need, like, that's how I was with Walking Dead. Like I watched it 1 season too many, you know what I mean? And I feel like with anime especially, that seems to happen a lot. Like as you get to season 3s and 4s, it's like,
we don't really know what story we're telling, but we're going to keep telling it because we're making money. And
so I think like it had that early success and it's been kind of drawn out. Like its first few chapters were really good, and then it's kind of like drawn out.
Definitely.
I feel like a lot of people say that with Dr. Stone too, like where it started really good and then it's kind of petered out as it's gone.
Well,
Again, that's another one I haven't seen, so I'm not sure.
The writer had to do a lot of work, I feel like, to get the first set of chapters out, because you have to think about like how much science he talked, and I know it's anime science, but it's still close, right?
Yeah.
He had to really think about what he
said. He had to do all the chemistry and like okay, if I combine these two elements,
talking to professors and like, does this make sense?
Yeah. My son was super into it. And he's like, Dad, I know how to make a cell phone now. I'm like, what?
No, you don't. No, you don't.
He's like, you just need a battery and a square block and push them together.
I just need to refine a bunch of copper into discs, and then I'm going to have them spin next to each other. And I'm like, okay.
Good idea.
Good idea.
Kaiju number 8 though does sound like the most interesting one to me that you brought up. Even a beach episode of Kaiju,
I agree.
I think would
Kaiju
be
number
funny.
8 is the one that I think has most potential, and absolutely with the shield hero. If you're into fantasy, it's your typical where he's in one world and he's summoned into another world as a hero, one of the cardinal heroes. The first and second seasons to me are I agree with what you said, Tyler. They really set the stage and the tone, and you're rooting for him. You're like, oh man, like I hope these people who are doing him wrong get their just desserts, and it pays off. But the later seasons, they're not quite there. But Kaiju number 8, I think they also had the closing song. We were talking about opening and closing songs, making sure they had the right bands. This closing song for that one actually has the same. I'm pretty sure it's the same vocal artist. I don't know.
Okay. Wasn't it One Republic? I think it might have been One Republic. Yeah.
But it's the same. It's the same tone, the same stuff. It's not the same song.
Nice. Cool. That sounds.
I do have another one that I really, really liked, and I think that we should definitely give it a try.
Okay.
Well, Dallin, did you watch any other ones? Let's go with you because I think me and Preston talked.
Let's hit on clevatess before I go to DanDaDan. So I checked out clevatess. And I'm mixed on this one, to be honest, after the first episode. So the way that it starts is very intriguing. It's a girl living on the outskirts of town with her dad in like a cabin. He's clearly like some sort of like ex-warrior dude. He has like a missing leg. He has like a peg leg. And he's like trying to like not crush her dreams of being the hero, but at the same time kind of being like, it's really dangerous out there. It's not for everybody. But like there's like this legend of like whoever is the hero that the king like gives them this weapon or whatever, then they can go defeat these 4 beasts. There's like a beast of the north, the south, the east, and the west, and they're kind of caging humanity from spreading out. But like the true hero will be able to defeat them all, kind of thing. So like sets up this promise, and then it just flashes forward to this girl is a hero with a bunch of other heroes in the back of a car, and they're headed up to the beast of the north, I believe.
And they're all wielding a weapon with a red tint to it, like in a red.
Yeah, iron. It reminds me of almost like lyrium from like Dragon Age.
So it's called Regula in this.
Yeah.
And then they go to fight. Lyrium. And it feels like they're under leveled for this fight. Like
I just think nobody really fights the boss that often. It's like because so they go to fight him, and when he shows up, the boss is Clevatess, which is the show's named after. And he just like absolutely demolishes them.
Like the guy who's supposed to be the strongest, runs right in and gets just slapped into a rock, and like gory, splatter.
Like almost Goblin Slayer level of just like ripped apart.
So it's like meeting Strahd for the first time.
Yeah. So I'm watching it on my nice monitors, and I'm like looking at it. I'm like, God, it's kind of grainy. It's like 1080p streaming service kind of moment. But I'm looking at it, and I'm like, they did not put the amount of work into it as like Lord of Mysteries did. And so when I'm watching it, I'm like, the quality is just a little lower, and it kind of got this like older grainy feel, like an early 2000s kind of feel. And like when the blood goes, like when Clevatess like impales someone, it's got like 90s anime blood splatter, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. But it's like cool like in a retro kind of way. Like I was like, oh yeah, that brings back memories.
But it could be distracting depending.
It could be. It's a little lower quality than the other ones, but I don't think the point of the show is the combat.
No,
by the end of the 45-minute first episode, we have a child
Yeah,
right?
it goes completely off the rails. So it starts out as like this quest to slay a beast, and then the beast is very upset that they even bothered to attack them, and he's like, "I haven't been struck for 1,000 years. I'm gonna just wipe humanity off the map." And so he essentially just like storms in and just starts wrecking the city, and kind of at one point eventually comes across a baby, like it's like laying out in the wreckage, and the mom's like, "Not all humans are bad, I promise you. Like, save the baby and you'll find out for yourself." And so for whatever reason, this like demon monster guy is like, "Okay, I'll raise this baby, and if it can prove to me that humanity's not bad, I won't destroy humans." But then within like 5 minutes is like, "Oh wait, I forgot, I don't know how to take care of a baby. Like, this is really hard. I need a human to like do it with me." And so now there's like a monster in human form, a baby, and a resurrected warrior trying to like raise this kid. And I think it's gonna just be
Two men
like,
and a baby.
yeah, it's gonna be more of like a comedy trouncing through a fantasy land kind of thing. I think the setup betrays what the story actually is, and so I'm kind of waffling on it. I think I might need an episode or two more before I really know how it's gonna be. But like, based off the first one, there is some intriguing elements, but there's also a lot of just like,
this wasn't what
like
I was
at one
expecting.
point, at one point it's like the baby's hungry, you need to feed the baby, and she's like, "I can't," and he's like, "Take your shirt off and feed the baby," and it's like, okay, calm down. Like, we're 20 minutes into this, relax. Like, you can't just like, you got to slow your roll, man. You can't just start here.
I felt like it was a little underproduced, and like I didn't feel super into it right from the get-go. And a lot of times you could kind of get a good feeling from a show pretty early on, and I kind of felt like this one was kind of like meh. I don't want to say it was bad, it was just meh. It was like, I'm bored. I'm kind of bored.
It felt very 7 out of 10.
Yeah. That's how I felt, and I was watching that like right before this podcast, so I was like, these are my fresh impressions of it. Like, nice. I'm not really hungry for more. Like, I'm gonna go back and watch Ugly Mug before I watch that.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
Because like Ugly Mug was funny to me because it was funny.
So who's clevatess for? I would say if you're a fantasy anime fan and you want like actual fantasy, not isekai, where it's a world that is set up and it's got political factions and its own unique races and like heroes and villains. Like, if you want more of like an epic fantasy, it does technically have those in there, but I don't think that's going to be the focus of the story.
I do like that the boss like was unique. Clevatess was unique. He was like almost like a lion-y like mountain tiger, and he had like a big moonlight mane with like shadow tentacles that would come out of the ground and impale people, and I was like, that shit's awesome.
It feels like a Dark Souls boss. Yeah,
and I was like, this is definitely like something I would love to see like in a DM kind of moment. Like, if someone was DMing and this was my opponent, I'd be like, this is awesome, because there's not only a gimmick to him, like there's also like he's just difficult, right? Like, so
it pushes the narrative like, oh, I want to get stronger, but then all of a sudden when it resets to like, okay, now we're raising a kid, and there's I can see that'll be jarring.
I mean, like, it kind of reminds me of Campfire Cooking. Like, is it gonna go from being like bloody and gory to like, let's just hang out and raise a kid? Like, what shenanigans can a baby get into?
And
or
and
like,
also
I'm gonna teach this kid to be a bad guy.
I get enough crying in my own life from children, and then you just throw a baby that the only lines of dialogue it has is just like a 40-year-old woman like pretending to be a crying baby, and you're just like, oh my god, this is so annoying.
Gosh, that's horrible the way you describe it. Like, I didn't think about it that way, but yeah, like,
not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah. So, maybe it's a maybe, but there's going to be people who like it. I think there's a definite audience for the show. I'm just not it.
It's people who don't have kids, so they don't hear crying a lot. So.
Yeah, maybe.
if you're consuming anime, it might be the thing for you. Yeah. Okay, so I got one for you that I actually really like, and I think it's going to be on our list because I'm going to push for it. It's Gatchiakuta, and I have read Gatchiakuta. And if you're on Crunchyroll now, it's bright red. It looks really gory. The animation is super unique.
Dude. I also watched this one, so we can both kind of hammer on this one.
Okay, so if I'm pitching it to you, Preston, I need you to imagine a pristine world. A pristine world where not only the roads are perfectly paved, the trees are perfectly placed, the people are perfect. Now, cut to an animal, like a stuffed animal, with its head just slightly torn. Poor little girl crying over her stuffed toy. What do you do? Well, you're an American, Preston. What would an American do to a toy that has been ruined? You got to answer a question now.
Well, are we talking about Fourth of July American, or are we talking about
4th of July American? What would happen to a toy that is ruined?
I'm gonna strap a bottle rocket to it and go blow it up on the 4th of July.
Yeah, that's one way. Yeah, the second way you should probably just put it in the trash.
It's no longer worthy. It's sullied. It's
sullied. So in a world where humans no longer appreciate the things that make the world special, and they also treat humans like that, right? That's Gatchiakuta. And I think that's going to be the core of it, is what is trash and how do we treat each other? And I was like, in this political climate, right, like that I'm living in right now in the United States, like I'm like, oh my God, this is commentary. This is straight up commentary.
And it honestly reminds me of Alita, or Battle Angel Alita or whatever, because it kind of has that same world where there's like the pristine, nice world up above, and then like the trash heap down below, and it's kind of
you
that
only
same
get to
duality.
a certain level, you can go into the ascent.
Except it's the reverse. Instead of trying to earn your way into heaven, it's you do one thing out of line, we drop you into the pit.
Drop you in the trash pit.
Yep.
And I think it's really shocking. So I taught geography for a really long time, and I would teach population density in India. And there's like literal images that you can pull up of a skyscraper for pretty rich people in India, and right next to it, like literally just one wall away, is just a full slum, right? Like it's just pretty. That's exactly what it looks like in the heavenly world. There are the tribes people who are treated like trash because they're the descendants of criminals, right? And then they are forced to watch their own kind get shoved into the pit whenever they break a law, which clearly clearly they don't listen to the tribes people when they say I'm innocent. They just throw them in the pit.
Those old lottery poems and stuff.
You
question whether or not it's actually.
Is that our society? That's what I kept thinking. Like, is this the world I live in? Like, am I going to end up in a pit one day?
Probably.
So I really liked it. I really thought it was really good. I've read about 100, I think like 50 chapters. So like just a real quick read. And I really liked where I'm at in that as well. I like it. Art is great, but the animation really kept up with the art.
The art style is one of the things that's keeping me hooked to it. It is so different from everything else, but it still looks like anime. Like, it's not so weird that it's like, what's going on? It's clearly this is still anime, but it just has these moments where it just drastically goes haywire, and they have like a sick metal track backing it at the same time, and I'm like, it just gets my blood pumping. It's so good.
So did you ever watch Hunter x Hunter, Preston?
Yeah.
Do you remember the end where Killua's sister is thrown in? And her eyes out there, her art style is like, I feel like that scratchiness is in this. And like, it feels like it's a bigger player. And like, the character designs are a little off-putting at first. Like, their eyes are really big and a little bold. Their movements are a little bit different, a little disproportionate. Yeah, but I think it will play out better because the movements were really solid.
Yeah, dimensions are a little weird. Like, they have slightly longer arms, like a little bit bigger eyes, longer necks. Like, they're definitely kind of playing with what looks like a human, like, but in like a really cool way.
Or something that's like you're a human, but then you're a little out of place. You're out of the mold. You're not quite.
It almost. I think it adds to the feeling of like, okay, this isn't like our world, but it is a similar type of world. You know what I mean? Yes. So it's so freaking fun. I wish there was more than just the one episode, because like right where it ends, I was like, no, you can't end right there. Like, come on, man.
That's chapter. That's like chapter 1. It's chapter 1, and like I'm like, this had me hooked after chapter 1. Also the main character doesn't show his hands. He wears these gloves, and that's going to play a huge role in the second half of the next episode. Is that those gloves will play a big role for him because he loves them. And that's really important, because what people see as trash, he cares about. and that emotion is going to matter, because this is emotion based anime. This isn't going to logic your way through a problem. Right. You have to use your feelings.
Emotion instead of like investiture from like a god. Now it's got investiture from
raw emotion. I was just about to say it sort of feels like a Sanderson.
Yep, I like it.
So I like it. I like it. Any other ones you guys watched?
Yeah. So I know, Preston, you said you fell asleep before you made it too far, and I don't blame you. It's okay. DanDaDan season 2. I watched the first episode of that.
I'm excited though.
Without spoiling it, because I know you're catching up, Tyler.
I have not jumped on the DanDaDan train, but I am getting there. I am enjoying all of season 1 so far. I'm like 6 episodes in, so I will catch back up soon.
So without spoiling anything, the way that season 1 ends, it doesn't really feel like an end. It just kind of like picked a spot and was like, okay, we're going to stop right here. So it definitely like has like an immediate pickup with season 2. Like it starts exactly where 1 left off, which in some regards is kind of nice, but also without having to wait for season 2, the way that 1 ended was kind of like, oh man, what the heck? But now that 2's out, you can kind of just continue straight in, and it's nice because it just picks up right where it left off. And I would say the animation's quality is still top notch. The story is still as wacky and wild as ever. The opening song, I will say, is not quite as great as Creepy Nuts opening song, but the ending song is so fire. Good. And the animation that accompanies it is so good. It really, I think it might be one of the best EDs. Like it's up there with the Jujutsu Kaisen season 1 ED. Like it's just so fun.
Good. I need something to kick K-pop Demon Hunters off the top list in my brain record, because I wake up in the morning and I'm like,
oh yeah. So funny story with K-pop Demon Hunter. So like I haven't watched it yet. I know we were gonna watch it and talk about it here, but I hear my daughter like watching something, and I'm like, hey, what are you watching? And she's like, it's this show about these 3 singers that have to fight monsters. I'm like, are you watching K-pop Demon Hunters? And she's like, yeah, you want to watch it? And I was like, what the heck? So my daughter is now finding anime on her own. It's just like, good. I'm like, all right, cool.
And again, this is like, is it anime? Maybe, but oh man,
yeah.
It's you should make her write down her review at the end.
Yeah.
so I don't have to watch it.
Well, I immediately was like, hold on, if this is anime, I need to know like the content, because it could be pitched for kids, but as anime tends to do, Japan's standards are not the same as like American standards for what they show their kids.
I do know that on when I'm looking at Crunchyroll and it's like TV 14 plus, TV 16 plus, they're a little bit more specific. Like here's where nudity might show up. Here's where sexual, like explicit. Here's where it's like, hey, we're kind of teetering on the edge. Like,
well, it ended up just being rated PG. So I'm like, you know what? Fine. That's totally in the clear. Because what surprised me is when I watched DanDaDan, I was like, okay, this is probably like a PG-13 type of rating. But when the 3 episodes hit the theater, it was rated R, and I was like, no way, I wouldn't have pegged it for that. But you know what?
I'm gonna eat your banana. Are you kidding me?
Hey man, if they can show boobs in like 80s movies that are rated PG, who knows?
That's dude. The 80s though. They were all coked up. Like,
so
I have some ones I'm interested in. It's Haruku Dies in the Summer and New Saga look interesting.
I did check out the Summer Hikaru Died. I watched the first episode. I watched the first episode of that. I would pitch it sort of as think Stephen King coming of age and then just put it in anime.
So like a Stand By Me anime?
Yeah, the premise is this boy, Hikaru, goes up on a mountain for like a hike or like a camping trip or something, and something happens. We don't really know. It shows his friends like searching for him. They're screaming his name. They're looking for him. And while he's laying there like injured and like bleeding out and dying, something kind of takes him over and is like, don't worry, like I'm gonna be you now, and just kind of takes over his body. And that's like the very first like 30 seconds of the show. And so you're just like, okay. And then like a week goes by and this boy comes down from the mountain and everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's a miracle, he's alive. But he tells his friend like within like the first minute or so of the thing, like, I'm not Hikaru, I'm something else.
Something
But
else.
his friend is like, you know what? Like, I'm just glad you're here. No matter what version of you is here, I don't want to live in a world where I don't have my best friend. So, like, I'll keep your secret safe. And that's kind of episode 1.
So is he kind of like a Shallan character, or is it more supernatural?
No, more.
I think it's going to be changeling.
Yeah,
Changeling?
it's more
Okay.
supernatural. I don't think Hikaru is in there in any way, shape, or form. I think it's sort of like Parasite, where it just like takes him over, except for the main character, right? Where Shuichi still like he has it on his hand, but like other people just become the thing.
Yeah. Or like True Eternity, when the guy dies and then he takes over his body and his conscious.
That's more.
That makes sense.
I think it's playing off that old like fable of like a changeling. So like moms used to say like, I think it's like
Sweep
a
you away in
psychosis
the
thing,
night.
right? Like that your kid gets taken away and the mom like suddenly has a mental breakdown. It's like, this isn't my kid, right?
Yeah.
Like, but like I think that's what it is. It's like this play on that idea.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but it does kind of like touch on themes of like how blind we become as humans to certain elements. Like when Hikaru comes back, they're like having like a choir performance, and he's like crying while reading the lyrics of the song, and his friend's like, dude, what is wrong with you? Like, we sing this song all the time. But he's like, I know, but like I have fresh eyes when I'm looking at this, and like these lyrics are so sad and like they move me. And so I think it kind of plays on that idea of like we kind of close ourselves off, or like we get so used to things, and sometimes a fresh perspective.
Is this going to be like
changes that?
A Frankenstein kind of thing? Like, who's the
I don't
real
know.
monster? Because like
be.
Clearly a monster's taken over a child, but like the monster's feeling things and everyone else is ignoring those feelings.
Yeah, I think it might be an alien. I think it might end up being more like sci-fi-esque. But I don't know. I didn't watch episode 2 yet. So there's a lot to like with it, I think, especially if you are looking for something in the horror realm, but maybe that isn't like jump scare or like it's not like a Junji Ito where it's just like disturbing imagery and things like that. So
the conceal don't feel Frankenstein. I like it.
Yeah. So we'll see. I thought it was okay. I thought it was okay.
I thought the same thing. Like when I saw the trailer or whatever for it, I really wanted to. It's on my list of ones to watch, so I'm excited for it. I'm glad.
I don't know if it'll be one that we pass to watch, just because there's so many good shows. But it's, even if we don't pass it, I think it's something I'll kind of just have as like a back burner type show. Like when I don't have a lot going on, I'll probably flip it on and catch up. But you know, it's all right. Cool. So, all right, Tyler, you said you had a couple other shows you wanted to.
Yeah, so I was looking at one on here, and I read Newgate. Like that was like one of the ones I read a while ago, and they made an anime of it recently. And it looks like there's another one that's similar. It's called New Saga, and I'm kind of interested. I like isekais where like they are like fighting the demon lord and they get sent back in the past and they have to like redo everything, but they have future knowledge. I love that crap. So I'm kind of interested in New Saga. I'm probably gonna watch one episode of that. I honestly though, like the one I'm most interested in is Kaiju number 8. I can't believe it's already here. Like
I know, I'm so excited.
Like that was just, that one's so high up on my list. And I can't believe I haven't watched it. I kept thinking it's going to be months before it comes out, and it's already here.
Yeah, I think it's been one of those weird seasons where some stuff came out like really early on, some stuff is trickling in, and then we get stuff like Demon Slayer that's like a month and a half out, and then like Chainsaw Man is like October. So it's like, this is the weirdest, like what is going on with the release schedule this time
Infinity
around?
Castle, it feels like it's super far away, but it's not that far away.
A couple months, yeah.
It's really like we're halfway through July. Like,
yeah,
we're almost halfway through July by the time this airs, and like it just feels like things are moving quickly.
Yeah, we're gonna have to buy our tickets and go see like the opening night show or something, and just have us go. Yeah, it'll be fun. I think at least where we're at, they tend to do like a 7 p.m. showing the night before. It used to be you had to wait till midnight, but they don't even do that anymore. Yeah. So we might be able to catch like one of those like 7:00 day before kind of showings and just see how we think of it.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That got a 2. Okay, so I was looking at another one and it got a 2.
Oh no.
Crunchyroll. It's like a 2.7. And I was like, oh no. It was
the Water Mage one or whatever got 4.5, and now we got a 2.
So this one is Necronomicon, the Cosmic Horror Show. And I was like, oh, this looks interesting. It's got a like a 2.7 out of with like 1.4 thousand views. I'm like, okay, maybe not that one.
There is one that made me think about you, Tyler, and I don't even know where we can find it, so we probably won't watch it, but it's called A Hell Teacher. I was like, oh, cool. It's Tyler over there.
Dream job.
It's Hell Teacher. It's like teaching him how to be a demon slayer or something in a classroom.
Like, what is it? That assassin class or assassins? Whatever.
Assassination classroom. Yeah,
that's the one.
Oh, there was another one too. There is it's Oni Mayo K10 Rebirth Verse. And it's the one where the dude's got kind of like red and yellow hair, and it kind of looks like a 90s style anime hair.
Interesting.
But, let me see if I can read you guys the details. Oh, he is a delinquent. I was right, just from his look.
Nice.
Narihita Takaru is a delinquent who often thinks about Tsukiniya, the girl who appears in his dreams. After an unexpected accident, I'm betting Truck-kun, Takaru finds him in a parallel universe, and the world that this girl dreams of lives in. When Takaru and Tsukiniya are slain by a monster, he wakens again and realizes he has leapt through time. Now Takaru must train with Abe Seni to fight for Tatsu's life. Wow, this will be interesting. So I'm looking at that one, and this is interesting. This one has a 4.6 out of 5. Already with 2,000 views. So I'm kind of interested in that one.
Is that on Crunchyroll or like
That's on Crunchyroll.
Okay.
That's on Crunchyroll.
So I've come to notice, and I don't know if this is maybe just something that's not true, and I just think it is because I've seen it, and like now I can't unsee it. But I feel like the reviews on Crunchyroll and the reviews on Mal are always so wildly different. Because I think the people who review something on Crunchyroll are like the ones who watched it and went, yes, and then they go rate it high. And the people who watch it and are like, this shit sucks, they go to AniList and go give it like a 1
So
star.
how bad does something have to be? How bad does something have to be to be a 2.6 on Crunchyroll?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, is like a 4 is probably like a 2 in reality, and a 5 is probably like a 7.
All right, let's see.
They rated on a bell curve.
So the score seems to be pretty accurate. So a 2.6 is a 5.6 in my anime list.
Okay.
So with 800 viewers rating it that way. Which, that's fair. That's fair. You know, I feel like that's a reasonable, like, it's a split. Let's check out the other one. If I can find
the other one I started was the Reborn as Vending Machine Season 2 for my kids.
Oh, yeah.
But it's in Japanese still. So I was it's hard because then if it's in Japanese, my kids are like, Dad, can you read what's saying? And I'm like, no, just
I can't
read
that
it
fast.
You read it, because now I have to like read it, say it out loud, and then have to understand what's going on at the same time. I was like, no, that's not fun. It's no longer fun.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so you were right. So this one on here is a 4.6, but on my Annie list, the one I was looking at is a 6.62, which I think is out of 10, right?
Yeah.
So like that's not a very good score.
It's like an 85% to a 65%. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is a vastly different score. Maybe I just go watch Hunter x Hunter again. I don't know.
I honestly, like, every new season that kind of tends to happen to me is I'll start watching a bunch of the stuff, and like there's like usually like 3 or 4 shows that I'm like, yeah, these are my jam, and everything else I'm like, this just makes me want to watch an older anime,
a different anime
that I know I like.
And I'll point out, like, Seventh Prince, like that manga is not that bad, but it's not really for everyone. It's very odd. So, like, I feel like I don't know how it's going to do. On Annie List, it's got a 7.4 with 100,000 reviews.
That's good.
Which is pretty good.
Say, yeah, anything above a 7 on Mal is probably decent. It's probably worth a watch.
I will say, just even reading it, you're gonna. It's pretty sexual. So, like, if you're off put by those kind of things, like, don't watch this.
Yeah, I'm kind of the mindset of like, I would rather have a show be very targeted for a specific audience and be super for that group, and maybe it offends everybody else, but at least those fans got like the thing that they wanted, and like, who cares what anybody else thinks? Like, because if that's the logic,
it's middling.
Yeah, if that's the logic, then eventually there will be a show that is made that I feel is like, oh, dude, this was handcrafted for me, like Lord of the Mysteries. And I'm like, not everyone's going to like this, but damn, like, this show is my jam. And
Nice
so
when
I
it
feel like
breaks the
everybody
mold and it
deserves that.
pushes those envelopes rather than doing, all right, well, this is safe. This is a tried and true method that everybody's familiar with. We're just gonna go with it.
Yeah, break some eggs, make an omelet. Like don't do the same, boring stuff.
Agree. One of the other ones you guys brought up that I watched, I binged last weekend, I think, was the Faraway Paladin. So just season 1.
Dude, okay. Good. So I have been reading that, and it trickles out so slow, and I love it. I feel like it's so good, and I watched the whole first season, and it's so sad at the end of that first part, and it's just I love that one. It's such a good D&D.
It's very somber.
It's an isekai in name only. I feel like it really isn't a true isekai because
I agree.
He doesn't quite remember everything from his past, and he doesn't utilize almost any of it.
Yeah. Nice. Well, it doesn't do what a lot of isekais do with that hand and fist where they're like, oh, I'm going to use this strange knowledge that I knew about thermodynamics in my last life to make this magic stronger somehow that no one else can think of.
And like he still grew up as a kid. Like his brain development was still like a kid's. So like it wasn't that weird for him. He made different choices than a kid would have made because he knows like he's a little bit more mature, but he's not that much more mature. He was still a kid. And he was being raised by like monsters, which was pretty cool.
3 monsters, yeah.
3 monsters raised him, like a ghoul, like a ghost ghoul, a zombie, and a fallen priestess.
There's the priestess, the mummy, the skeleton, and the ghost.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's pretty cool. And it only gets cooler. Like I know the next season is going to be freaking dope.
Season 2 was in 2023, right? That's when I think season 2 is when that 2023 is when it came out. Because I just discovered that it's there, but I have to buy it. I can't just watch it.
Where is it?
I was on Amazon watching it on Crunchyroll, and they had a buy it now option. I don't know. Okay. It might be on something. It might be on one of the streaming services. You got to pay to watch.
I hate when they do that. Season 1 is over here, but season 3 is on a different. It's like, come on, man. Like as much as I don't want an anime monopoly in Crunchyroll, it is nice to have everything in one place.
I agree.
So does he end up fighting the? Yeah, he does. He ends up fighting Valkyria. What is it? Valkyria, I don't know. It's the dragon. That dragon fight, sick as hell. So
nice.
It's a D&D anime all the way through. There's
talk about the one where he like breaks his neck. Is that one?
No, there's like a legit like elder dragon, not like.
Ooh, I'm excited. Then.
Not like Drake, like dragon. So like if you want like a good like adventure anime, I love the Faraway Paladin. I also like. It was a
good. I guess I wanted to bring it up again to say yes, it was a good recommendation. So if anyone else is watching,
this one's dumb, but if you haven't watched it, The Great Cleric, if you like that kind of like medieval-y kind of world, The Great Cleric is a great isekai to just put on. I like it.
Does it lean into the because the thing I liked about Faraway Paladin is it leaned into in a good way. For me, what I would imagine paladin, like a true paladin, someone who's a knight. Someone who's like, I have this holy crusade that I'm going on. I'm a paladin, right?
So the Great Cleric does not. This is not. He is just
That's okay.
He has healing magic and like purification magic, and he is just trying to do his best by people. Like it's kind of, and it's a good isekai. I like it. It's funny.
Similar pacing. I'm game.
It's slow. I would say Faraway Paladin is slow compared to the Great Cleric.
Okay. Well, it's still good, because I felt like it was slow enough that I got to enjoy the journey, but it was fast enough that I didn't lose interest. It wasn't a Sword of the Demon Hunter.
Yeah.
I really like Faraway Paladin because he's not overpowered. He's legitimately powered at the right scaling.
Yeah, see, that's my biggest complaint with a lot of isekai is it just jumps in and it's like my level is 9,999 and nobody can stop me.
Or it's solo leveling and it's like
stakes are too low. Yeah. But it's like if you just jump in and nothing is a challenge, I have no stakes, I don't care anymore. Like what makes
that character?
Yeah, what makes good tension in a story is when they have to overcome something, not when they're just so powerful they can just easily blow it over. I'm like, a good story is someone who struggles to achieve and then still achieves despite all the odds against them.
I think Faraway Paladin, he doesn't. He's his leveling is paced correctly.
agree.
He's stronger than the average person, weaker than a monster, right? Like he knows he can die in an instant.
Yeah, it's like Geralt. Like he's strong and can handle it, but like one wrong move and a monster's tearing him apart.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. That's so good.
So I think it's a good one. It might not be like a simulcast, but it's one that people could probably go watch if they're bored.
Check it out.
I mean,
Cool.
All right, so I mean, like
we just hit the hour mark. So what do you guys think? Like, any more you want to talk about? I think we covered everything that is out up to this point. There's a few more around the pike. We'll get more into Kaiju number 8 as we get a chance to watch it.
I do think if you're like gonna watch something like probably with us, I definitely think DanDaDan, Kaiju number 8, and Gatchiakuta are gonna be on the list. Like, there's no way I can't see myself watching all three of these.
I mean, we'll do a pitch like we did last time, where Preston will go first and we'll vote on it and everything, and just make sure like we all line up. But I think we're like just off of vibes alone, I think we're kind of all in agreement with the same kind of shows. So we'll see what.
But I think it's good too because we, at least I was trying to cast a net a little bit wide and like try some different things. So I think it'll be interesting.
And if anyone has any recommendations, like anything that they're like, I've been dying for this. Like I know there was like a dress up one that people were raving about. And I was like, I'm not interested in that. But like, if someone pushed me, I probably would be like, I'll try an episode. Right?
If you're interested in like cosplay and you're interested in that kind of like
realm,
it's kind of like a
slice of life.
Like a teasing slice of life. Like, will they, won't they? But they obviously can't because of the age thing. Like, it's kind of like, oops, you saw me changing. Like, don't mind me. I'm just trying to make your costume.
Or you're embarrassed. Like, I need you to take my measurements in order to get proper measurements. Those kind of like putting them in weird situations.
Yeah. And I know some people find that really cringy in anime, but like,
I'm going back to some people Ugly Mug.
Dig it.
I'm going back to Ugly Mug. I liked Ugly Mug. I thought it was funny.
Well, there you go. On that note, go check out Ugly Mug. Go check out Lord of the Mysteries.
Yes.
Pierce your face like this the whole time.
Yes and yes.
So yes, on behalf of the Dad-ime crew, I am Dallin. We've got Preston and Tyler. Thanks so much for tuning in. Let us know your favorite anime of the summer season so far. And next week, we will vote on the shows we're going to pick. And we'll get more in depth on some of our initial impressions for the stuff we didn't get to this time. So until then, take care, stay safe. Peace.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.